DOOSAN Construction and Engineering Weave Championship. And the question that supporters of the KLPGA Tour are asking themselves and will be asking themselves for the next 2 hours or so is today the day, 2 years in the making, that Park Hyung-kyung returns to the winner's circle on this prestigious tour, in the hunt, within one stroke of the lead. We are in for quite the finish here on Jeju Island, with 1.2 billion won in the purse to distribute this afternoon. 120 players began in the hunt, 64 made the cut, and really it is about 15 or so still in contention for the title. ENG, she was the winner last week. What a remarkable tournament she was able to put together. So far today, though, despite still being in the top 10, has not been able to find birdies with any amount of regularity. Isujin, bringing that to a couple of feet shy. As we take stock of where we are at in the race for the title. We certainly have to cast our eyes towards the top of the leaderboard. The top 5 right now comprised of Jung Ji-min 2, EA 1, Kim Min-biao, Park Hyung-kyung, and Kim Min-sun 7. Sung Gaeun-shi is one of those on the periphery, certainly not out of this by any stretch of the imagination, but is going to need some kind of remarkable back nine to keep herself in the hunt. Definitely on for a brilliant results inside of the top 10, with higher aspirations as she will head to the Valley course next. Here is our co-leader Kim Min-sun 7, an uphill putt. Goes right to left and finds the bottom of the cup. So she becomes our leader with a 9-hole score of 34 and is at 10 under for the tournament. Jimin 2 on her approach at the par 4 10th. Get on the front side of this green and not be able to advance up the hill. And Park Hyung-kyung, her par. She had been our clubhouse leader by day's end yesterday in a tournament that was initially supposed to be a 72-hole competition, reduced to 54. Cancellation of Thursday's opening round due to strong winds, but since the typhoon rolled through and caused havoc throughout the island and in many parts of the country, the weather has been near picture perfect, and again, another wonderful day. 29 degrees and sunny, 3.2 meters per second the wind currently. Coming out of the north-northeast. Here is EA1. 1 under in the first round, 5 under yesterday, currently 2 under, playing her approach. She is going to get a bit more of a roll, but it will be short-lived. She'll descend back down towards the front with her groupmate. In fact, they might even tap balls when they do. Seeing lots out of the drone this afternoon. It's been a really cool addition to the tournament broadcast this week, I must say. It's literally and figuratively the home stretch. 54 to find a win. Gaming Sun 7 into the fairway and into the targets. One last donation to be made of 500,001. She had struggled a little bit with driver in the opening round. So far in this final round on the par 5s, she has not found a fairway, but she has found all 5 on the par 4s. Park Young, since she had been able to win the 43rd KLPGA Championship, defend that title, she has not returned to the win column. 9 runner-up finishes in that stretch, including 3 of them this season alone. 2 of them this season alone. 3 podiums, second and third. Send her away with a good drive. She had said of the pressure, I've never played the final round as a solo leader, but I know I have a chance. That's the tee-up in the group, looking a little bit left and wide of the fairway, but she's actually going to get a helpful little kick to keep her in. Everyone is away well on number 10. Green here is where we are headed. Young actually went to the opposite side. 2 short approaches. She went long and looking to comfortably go up and down for her par. Right at the pin and coming up with a wonderful result. Over the creek, over the sand, and it has been a very special final round out of nowhere, must be said. Kim Gill up 31 positions. She was just 2 under heading into this final round and is just 2 strokes back, at least on pace for the course record here at Penn Valley. Wedge, 106 for Ingenie. Worked out quite well for her as well. Within about 6 feet. It was a battle of attrition as much of anything else last week forward, just trying to hang on. She was able to ultimately prevail. Who is just 1 under through 9 holes. A little bit right on that putt for birdie. ENG 50 degree from 91 meters and the rough. 67, which had been one of the best scores yesterday to herself back in the race, but even par halfway through the round, down 4 spots from where she started the day. Continuing to lips out, catching the outside of the cup, but will will not fall. Settle for a par here. Maybe for a bogey back to back. My goodness. About 8 feet past the hole with a slightly downhill putt. Birdie coming up next for her, but we will head back to the fairway, number 10. Back with her father on her bag as her caddy. This father-daughter duo. Trying to just stay level-headed in pursuit. The glory that has eluded for a couple of years. 3 times a winner in her career, but definitely has to be at the point where it almost feels like a curse with how close she has come on so many occasions. 66 in the world. Too many of these approaches go to this right section of the green. A longer pull putt for her next. Middle of our fairway target, 170 meters. Just about pin high, and we'll stop at the border of the French. Just carrying beyond the pin, but landing and basically staying put firmly where she arrives on the green by a couple of feet past the hole. She'll definitely fancy her odds at a birdie from that position, and with it, she would be able to get to 6 under and a tie for 10th position. Kim Min Sun 7, the teenager, the 10th ranked rookie on tour so far this season at 10 under is our leader. Park Yeon-gyung follows her. Kim Min-byul tied for 3rd with EA1 and Chung Ji-min 2. The rest of the top 10 includes Kim Woo-jung, Chun Ye-sung, Lee Soo-jin 3, and Jae Min-kyung. A gorgeous afternoon here in Seogwipo-shi for the final round of the Tucson Engineering and Construction Weave Championship. Glad to have you aboard. Lots of golf to be had this afternoon as we look to crown a champion in the next couple of hours. to continue her unreal final round, and she does so with another birdie. She was hardly in the conversation at all, and quite frankly, she was asking a lot of questions of herself. And she missed the cut last week, but the rookie who has already won this season, who's already been in the hunt for a win, runner-up position, is definitely making some big noise here. 32 positions in the final round. She's was so far back and so far out of the conversation that she was teeing off on hole number 10 today. Two birdies since hole number 8, tied for 5th now, and just 3 back. She had a wonderful quote before the tournament about not wanting to be greedy, looking for back-to-back, but you can tell she is playing with some of the most confidence of her career right now. Young will be unable to climb back into a co-lead, just a little bit too much to ask out of that putter. Dialed in and laser focused. Chunye Sung on 13. On its way, looking a little left, and yep, just not quite able to come back online. Slight advantage for Kim Min Sun 7, but she too comes close. This is not going to get her there, unfortunately, on this hole, so her lead will stay at just 1. It's a frozen rope from Kim Soo-ji. And just going to have enough speed to reach. That is a brilliant birdie, and what has been a relatively disappointing day, but she is under par for this final round once again. And Suji 3 trying to avoid dropping another. Unfortunately, that putter has gone ice cold. It was a 66 6 under yesterday, where she was absolutely dazzling, up 21 spots to finish the day, tied for 2nd. Fading out of the chase here. No time to right the ship. Not a ton of it, however. It's decent up, a little shallow. Young to save her par. She has some company at that runner-up now. She, however, has the luxury of 8 more holes. We go to 11. Stopping just before the rough. This is a 96-meter approach for EA1. Up, skip, and a roll. Carry on ball. A 5-foot birdie putt. It's a but-for bogey that takes her out of the top 10. At least, well, she would have dropped, so now it becomes the top 10 again. Happened to tie for 11th. For the final round. Trailing by 4. So you mean 2? work. Virginia Sung, her first par 3 of the back 9, the longest par 3 on the course at 177 meters, 162 yards. Pin placement all the way to the back today. Gets to about the middle. Turn, just as the dogleg begins, is about as narrow as it could possibly be. Nice and accurate off the tee. Now Genie going with 5-iron. This is a lengthy approach still. Going past the sand towards the left of this green. Is it a little bit safe? Can't really falter for it. Not a ton of margin for error if you are indeed short.
실례하겠습니다. 멈춰주세요.
Significantly uphill, a 14 yards decline from the tee off to where the pin is placed. With an outside look at a birdie. That's on line. Fortunately, Ford just runs out of speed. Just went to settle for a par. ENG 6-iron, if she was able to be about 7 meters or so closer than her group mate here, and she is going to be pin high. Tiny downhill slope on that putt for birdie, but she's got the best chance at it of that trio. Back to 11. For outright 5th. Tight line to try and work through. Situation just a few holes further down the course. The Janye Sung not quite aligned enough with the pin to use it as an aid. Glance back out. Chance to make from there 3 under through par as we check in on Sungao on number 13. 6.7 meters, less than quarter. Of likelihood she defies those odds with a brilliant putt. We mentioned she's going to need a few of these on the back nine. A bit of a slow start, but into a share of fifth now, and only 3 back of the lead. $10,001 per round, regardless of the round. Ticket prices for the spectators, with all proceeds being added to the social contribution fund this weekend. Good to see another really good turnout for this final round. There are a ton of people who would love to see Pak Young-Yeon have another KLPGA crown placed upon her head. Good to see the unveiling of the trophy that we'll have here. Always neat to see their debuts as well. You know the jacket will be cool. That much we can tell you. Pins and the flags this week. More than a spot of trouble here for Isujin 3. Try and get a little pitch. Lay up back into the fairway. There is a big pond to the left, but if you are finding that, you have much bigger problems in this final round. That nearest sand trap is definitely in play here. Shouldn't be a factor in pin placement today, though. It's 4 yards off the right edge of the green. Just about midway through the depth. Here's Kim Min-sun 7. On board with that. Despite not having any rain this 24 hours, the course is in remarkable shape considering an actual typhoon rolled through. The green's playing very soft. Feature group in a moment. Let's see what Imjini is able to do here on number 12. Good try, but nothing to influence the scorecard. Finally on, albeit much further beyond the pin than she needed to be. Definitely fighting it right now. That +2 is the highest score of anyone in the top 30 right now. And the tee shot for Sunggaeun with a very pleasant little kick. Good chance to find back-to-back birdies here. She is on the climb into a share for 5th position, up 6 spots. No Seung-yi as well. Through 15 holes, she has made up 14 positions. Park Ji-young through 17 is 4 under. She has made up 17 spots, but that pales in comparison to Kim Min-biel. 1 shot off a course record here with a 65. She'd need a little bit of luck and a lot of pars from the players around her, and Kim Min-sun ahead of her, who remains our leader at 10 under par. double attempt from Isujin 3 to avoid a bogey here, but her misadventures across and about this 11th hole will cost her yet another stroke that will take her from a tie for 10th down to a tie for 18th. She'll be hoping that the parachute comes out pretty soon to try and arrest the speed of this free fall. That approach is unable to get any of the green, and now Park Young has a chance to go to 10 under. This looks great, and it is great. Some quiet confidence, a tip of the cap, and maybe, just maybe, trying to suppress a smile there. Back to under par for the day, back-to-back bogeys. Could have seen things go off the rails, but she did very well to stabilize. And she is back on the climb again and is a co-leader with 6 holes to play. Jimin 2. Another approach that finds the front left of this green. Does Kim Sun 7 respond? In the match, go birdie for birdie. She tees off at the next. She'll have some company at the top. Speaking of players making a surge, we cannot forget about EA1. Her approach at 12, that's going to be a great kick and an even better roll. She can make it a three-way tie for the lead if she can convert upon that. Back third of the day. She has not started her nines well. Not the bounce, not the result she was expecting. Well off the back of the green as we go to 14. Maybe some left to right break here for Sung Gaon. A bit too much speed. She will not be able to make it. Third straight hole with upward movement. This hole. Every time she has played it this week, finds the fairway with her driver. Nine of 14 fairways in regulation. It has not been her favorite club, nor the reason why she has the success that she has done. It's been the approach game and the putter really coming to life that's made the biggest impact. Kim Sun 7 also all pars here. The same can be said for 13 as well. The 4 times she has gone through. Slightly off to the right, avoids the sand. She is most certainly on for a career best if she can keep up this pace. A 7th place finish at the 11th E1 Charity Open back at the end of May. best of her young career to this point. Here's Jaemin Young running it through to about 4 feet. Song on 15. Proving to be a tough nut to crack. This 12th hole. No such difficulty here. Lovely bit of control for Kim Soo-ji on back-to-back holes now. Wedges are on fire. The A1, the downhill putt. It's going to come heavily back to the left. This looks great. Yes, it is going to fall. So she joins the crew at 10 under, on pace for at least a 68 at this rate, and no signs of slowing down. Imjini missing the green by going heavy on the approach. The wrong club she picked. Trying to get up and down for a par now. A high-pitched wedge shot and maybe a bit deeper than she would have wanted. Tell that the nerves are starting to settle in. Cannot believe she went 0 for 2 there. When the dust had settled last week, it was a podium finish. Her best result of the season. She's played some really good golf since the turn of the calendar to July 5th and 3rd. Jaemin Young finishes that up and down, has her par. Kim Soo-ji quietly sneaking up the leaderboard, but unable to have a second straight birdie. Jung Ji-min too, as the bogey confirmed, and 3 of them now since hole number 9. A very well worked birdie. Bogey-free round for Chung Ye-sung and her first at the back 9. You know the relative difficulties that hole number 12 has offered. Hybrid for Bak Yang. Goes a little bit more conservative than she would have liked to be. Wrong side of the green. She She's right when she needed to be left. Instead of avoiding the thickest cut of rough, but not an ideal lie. She goes for a 6-iron from 145. It's better, but it's not enough up the hill. She'll get the roll back away from the pin. And all of a sudden, a very tricky par save. Reem Genie here. Starts back up the hill. Incredibly difficult putt that she is able to navigate. Stays tied for 6th and avoids falling back to even for the round. And nearly at the top of the hour, approaching 2 p.m. local time, and the heart of this back 9 is what will be next for our featured group. A par 5, a par 3, and a par 5, and then we are in for a sprint to the finish line. Kim Min Sol deserves a ton of praise as she finishes the tournament tied for 11th at 6 under as the low amateur in this inaugural Tucson Engineering and Construction Weave Championship here at Teddy Valley. Sungoon was wide of the fairway off the tee, and as a result, it affects her ability to reach the green with her second, so she'll be playing out of the rough. She tries to get up and down for a par. Kim Min Sun 7, meanwhile, on 12. Bottom slope, zapping all the power. Still fairly short of her target. So the 176-meter second shot, and 116 for A1 down here on the par 5. Gonna work herself to pin high, about 7 meters to the right of the hole. Young's first putt brought her to about 4.5, 5 feet. Needs this to save a par. Slightly overhits his moves left to right and is off the mark. So she'll be dropping out of the lead. Will Kim Min Sun 7 be going with her? To nullify great play at 11. It's 5 holes remaining now for her. Go to 13. $114 for Jae-min Byung. Not her best, but definitely one to keep the slim chance of birdie alive. Just a bit too shallow on the approach. Almost identical putt to Kim Min Sun 7, just a little bit less break. It's the same thing. Overestimating the amount of power she needed with that uphill putt. She will also be bogeying. A three-way tie for first, or a three-way tie for second. If she, Kim Min Byung, and Park Eun-gyung. What should have been a par putt, or birdie putt, excuse me, for Sungoon. Really difficult up, but it's probably the best she could have hoped for from that position, that thick of rough. Teddy Valley, which opened back in 2007, as recently as 2019, selected as one of the top 10 courses in Korea by Golf Magazine. Season is coming here as well. Bounce back time for Park Eun-gyung. Tied for third last week after missing the cut at the Ever College Invitation in 2023, which had been the second time on the year when she failed to make the weekend, the other being the BC Card Hanggyang Ladies Cup. All in 5 top 10 finishes on the season. Solid drive, right down the middle of the fairway. This green is where they are headed, and it is where we find Jae-min Byung. She knew right away. feeling. After all the work, the routine, and as soon as it leaves your putter, you often know settling for par yet again. Genie on 14. Feel like at least 15 meters as she runs it along the right side. Now it makes its turn. It's carrying a bit too much speed. Yeah, one an outside look at a birdie, but a look nevertheless. She's definitely in and around the top 15. Park Ji-young is running out of time to continue a climb. EA1 after failing to convert on that birdie, just a short par, maybe 4 feet. She has it there. And over on 14, that is a remarkable putt. Wouldn't have put her very high on the list of those to make birdie where she had landed on the green. Excellent execution. It's an unfortunate bogey, but did not play this par 5 particularly well. Twice in the rough, and it ends up being a 2-putt. Third par. Second shots now for the crew. Sun 7 next to go. Narrowly staying in the fairway, but as wide right as she could be. Park Ji-young as her round comes to a close. Just outside of the top 5, but a 68 is no small feat on a tough championship condition course as this is today. EA1 for the time being has the outright lead after bogeys from Park Ji-young and Kim Min-sun 7. From the 64 players that made the cut, we have 45 under par, an additional 6 at even, all the way up to Kim Min-ju, tied for 62nd with Chi-Han Sol and Hong Jung-min, who have the distinction of being here for the final round, but being the highest scores of the day. More from Teddy Valley Golf and Resort when we return. The trouble is putting it mildly for Park Ji-young in and amongst the trees. opens the door for EA1. Teeing off on the par 3. That's a helpful little kick. No such drama either for Kim Min-sun 7. 517 meters. It's the longest putt in the back nine, but both on the front significantly longer. Again, staying to the right. That has par written all over it. Jimin Young is next. Still at even for the round through 13 holes. And that will come to rest on the first stage of the green. All right, let's head on over now and check in on No Sung-yi. Really good round for her. At 2 under, up 10 spots into the top 10. She splits the difference of her group mates after being wide left off the tee. Park Hyung-kyung, after recovering from a big miss on her second, not nearly long enough. She will have a lengthy putt to try and save a par. The drama intensifies. A tweak of 60, Sunggan. Still inside the top 10, but a little bit of a wobble at the last. Much, much better. About 8 feet, slight uphill. Well, a chance for some showers later on this afternoon. We should be well finished before the clouds roll in on another breathtaking day as we look down across the course towards Halasan, faintly in the background, with EA1 leading and in a pretty good spot on 14 to carry that to the 15th hole. Kim Min-byul, Park Hyung-kyung, Kim Min-sun 7 tied for second, and it is a decently long list, tied for 6 with Park Ji-young. In with a 68, her best round of the tournament, Im Ji-ni and Jae Min-kyung, Kim Min-sul, Lee Ju-mi, Hung Jung-mi, Jo Eun-hae, No Sung-yi, Kim Soo-ji, and the list goes on. Sung-geun, Chung Yoon-ji, and Chung Ji-min, all inside of the top 10 at that 6 under score. She wants to stay as the runner-up. She's going to have to find a big par putt here. Awesome effort, but unfortunately it's not going to salvage this hole. For the second time in the round, back-to-back bogeys and tied for fourth on the board. This is going to start on the rise, descend, and then need to come back up. So it's going to take a big swing. Kim Young here to about 4 feet from par. Firstly, downhill for Chen Sung. Gonna have enough speed. Oh, it did. Fractionally offline to the right, and it's gonna stay out. Sun 7 with an outside look at a bird. Back towards the middle. Picking up speed but losing its line at the end. Finish out from there and stay as the joint runner-up. About 5 meters between himself and a 2-shot advantage. He doesn't want to start back online until it was too late. Bounce back time. Young to avoid being surpassed and left in the rearview mirror. First effort is not quite where it needed to be as we witness what No Sun Yu hope is her final shot of the day. Not able to put together one last birdie. She will tap in and end of her day 70 inside of the top 10 with a 6 under, second best score of the event. Through onto the green. Several ways of looking at it. She birdied here yesterday, 15 through 18. 3 birdies so far this week. At this point, she's going to need at least 2. No more bogeys. Finish, but an important one to preserve the score. Scampers off the green. Still at 6 under. So the big change, of course, is Bak Young dropping down, moves to over par for the day. And at the moment, she is the only one inside of the top 20 with a plus beside her total for this Sunday round. ENG still at even, hasn't been able to pick up many strokes. Same can be said for Hoda Bean, who is also at even through 15, 5 under, tied for 18th in this Championship Sunday of the Tucson Engineering and Construction Weave Championship. More when we come back at Teddy Valley. Good to have you along with us on this Championship Sunday. valley. 5 holes remain, 2 of them being par 3. So again, was able to rebound in a big way in the Bokian's par 5. Really solid effort. Excruciating little tap in. You know that nobody puts more pressure on herself than Park Young-gyung. In those sports where you can consistently do your top 10s and good rounds, but the longer you go, it just starts to feel like an anchor you gotta drag around with you until you can detach it. Jeannie got that feeling last week, though she certainly didn't go nearly as long as between victories at Park Young-gyung. Keeping the 7-7, no doubt, just trying to stay present, stay in the moment. She knows she's on for a career best. I'd like to join the growing list. Players who have won. In a big way. Becomes the co-leader once again with a big birdie. Now, a huge 4-hole run into the finish. Subtle fist bump. And supporters wanting to congratulate her as well as she makes her way to the 15th tee back into the par 5s. And all of this on Sunday was a march for the 18th hole. 217 off the tee and around the cart path. Sun lands about a meter past the hole. Second to last hole for Sungyeon. And she gets an unfortunate kick. She played a dangerous game with that wide left landing spot. Bounces off into the rough. At 494 meters, we reach the final. 540 meters, 494 yards, we reach the final par 5 of this tournament. Long and narrow fairway, 260 to 240, the average distance remaining after the tee shots. Fairly level until the very end where there is that last ascent to the hole. Things get a little bit dicey. Tons of elevation changes and lots of sand and thick rough to punish. Less than accurate approach shots. 10 today in the exact middle of the width of the green. 14 yards from front of it, just where it curves around. Players have come through already today and birdied here. So I'm getting her birdie at the last, and again, sending just about every tee shot to the right of the green. So fade on all of these shots. approach time. GD on 16. Another centrally located pin position, and it's a decent approach. Suji after her first putt. And heading back to the front right and well beyond, in fact, off the green. Get underneath it and get up there in Sungaon's position. Left to right action on this. Somehow picked up so much speed at the end that it moved around and popped back out. Bit of a shocker. Once again, open up an advantage. This for 11 under par. Overhits, too much speed, and not a chance for it to come back. The second shot needs to be miles better than it was in the last par 5. She's gone left again, not as treacherous, but as you can see, that ball is buried in the rough. Out of the rough. Gone from right to left, but this time she is in the first cut. She really thought she had it there, but hangs up over the right. Nothing gained, and not many holes remaining. Suji trying to save a par at 18. Just pushes away at the bitter end. That's unfortunate, as it will take her out of the top 10. Tied for 16th. Her third bogey of the round. With 3 birdies, it is an even 72 to conclude the tournament. Speaking of even, this for a par. And she'll take a share of the lead to the 16th tee. Sungun playing a dangerous game on the way in here. And just asking for too much. Left into the rough, off the green on the first chip, and 2 putts. 2 bogeys in 3, and we'll head to the 18th also with 5 under. Just a little bit of a cleaner look from this vantage point, but knowing that the bunkers are right there, welcoming any missteps, and being just beyond them. Could be a tournament-defining shot. 97 meters out, Baek Young's approach. Lovely little roll. A bit more speed than ideal, but considering where she could have been, that is a really good result. Green camouflaged. 81 meters from the fairway for Kim Min-sun, 7. Bit too much backspin, but it goes out the pen and gives herself a chance at a birdie. It's all she can ask for. Here's Eugenie. Take a level with Baek Young at 8 under. There it goes, straightening out. Just losing speed at the extreme end of the roll. Stuck at 7 under. Can't escape this run of pars. Only 1 birdie in the back 9 still, reminiscent to last weekend in Jeju City. Couldn't have dropped it in any better than that. That's how you play 17. Not quite Lexus level, but still excellent. 130 with 7. Final hole of the tournament for Sungun. Very kind pin placement today. If you're a little bit deep, you'll have that upslope to bring you back. Have to think what could possibly be running through your mind as a rookie, playing with a two-time major champion and getting the best of her. Probably relieves a little bit of the pressure knowing that EA1 is one hole past you when putting up big scores. Won't turn 20 until October the 9th. It's a funny game, golf, isn't it? You go out and have one of the best results of your career, then you miss the cut, and then the following week you're maybe half an hour away from your first win. There's no rhyme or reason, it's all about execution on the day. This is where the mental game has to be as strong as anything else. Uphill putt for birdie for Kim Min-sun, 7. Coming back right, looks quick. Slightly offline. Admittedly, this is the club that needs the most refining still. And a rookie outside of the top 100, averaging 31.35 putts per round. It's definitely worked oh so well for her so far this season, and it's going to need to continue. Just a few more holes. We might even be needing a 55th. We'll see how we finish off. This is Hoda being on 17. Down the hill it goes, coming back online. We've seen that a couple of times today. In and out in the blink of an eye, and she will stay, not even for the day. Just one to go. Big putt for Park Young-young. Huge result for her as well. She moves within one. Agony on the last, coming so close but not doing anything to boost the score. She moves back to even. That was not a simple putt. Two par fours, excuse me, and a par 3 that she has played really well so far this week. At least one more. 2 would be great. Wants to do on that putt, but on the green. Par round 1, birdie yesterday. What does ENG have in store on 17 on Sunday? She's left of target and uphill. That's going to be a very difficult putt. That's what it's supposed to be when big money and big honor is at stake. Approach on 16 and 143 to the pin. 16 yards from the back of this green and close to the middle at its narrows. A little bit short for EA1. Winner of the first event of 2023, the Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open. Her sophomore year and picking up where she left off in 2022. Well, that basically sums up the day, unfortunately, especially the back nine for Sunggaeun. So close, but not finding birdies on a consistent basis. Can she turn her birdie into some momentum? One last push. She shot on 16, starts her off on the front foot.
앞에 멈춰주세요.
She's been fading. She's been moving right with these tee shots throughout the back nine. There's another one. This one will stay in the fairway. Her birdie came at the par 3. Got one of each today. Par 5, a par 4, and a par 3 birdie. 2 under. Definitely in crunch time. EA1 now. One more birdie and she'd be on pace to match her 67 yesterday. This might go, you know. That's an incredibly subdued reaction for a 5th pickup of the round, and once again takes the outright lead. Bad news for Park Young-kyung. Great news for EA1. Sunggaeun finishes with a 72 in the final round, 69, 70, and 72. The story of her tournament, tied for 15th position. Just faded a little bit on the back nine and fell out of the hunt. Jae Min-kyung is hanging around, though she is also down 2 positions from when she started the day in 4th. She has been even, birdied 3 and 4, bogeyed 6 and 7, and has been all par since. Looks like it'll be another on 16. Always fascinating to compare the scores of the top 5. Bogey free for EA1. 1 bogey on the round for Kim Min-sun, 7. Kim Min-byul was also bogey free with 7 birdies today. Remarkable. And Park Young-kyung with 4 bogeys. And all of them are still in the hunt. Here's Im Gini. Be a tricky one. Speed's going to have to be right on here as this ball descends towards the flag. A little bit of break to the left, just a bit too much, takes her away. Unfortunately for Isujin 3, it has not been a very productive day at work at +4 and in a speck of trouble again. And the fairway bunker off to the right. That's 162. Need a big iron to reach. And Young first to player approach, and oh no. A beeline for the tree. She's actually lucky she hit it, otherwise that would have been well gone into the forest. But that is not what you want to see out of someone pushing for a win when EA1 is playing some really strong golf in front of her. She is tempting fate with these mishits. Chung Yoon-ji watched that flare out wide right. Well, top 10 in both putting and approach. Strokes gained. Generally, so long as her tee shot is in a decent spot, she's been able to capitalize on many moments. Again, right. She's drawn to it. A lot of fade in her shot today. Well, it is one of the biggest prizes of the season at 1.2 billion won. Of course, all of this in the run-up to the KB Financial Group Star Championship tournament that Peng Min-ji had won last year. Haven't seen too many tee shots go short for EA1 today. Getting pretty near close to one more birdie sealing the deal. Well, the 72 that Jae-min Kyung is on pace for would be her highest score of the weekend. Started with a 70. Brilliant 67 yesterday, but consistency has not accompanied her to this final round. To 18, Hoda Bin having bogeyed number 17. She gets that stroke back with a nice birdie to wrap up the tournament. Tied for 15th, she finishes. Definitely not how she had anticipated starting this day, with a double bogey on the first. Played some really good golf on the way in. I think she is thanking her lucky stars here. Hits the tree and drops into the rough and has an unobstructed vantage up towards the green. Just has to think to herself, get out of here with a par. Focus on the final two. So up to about 6 feet short of the pin. On the bright side, her best club has been her putter. Second best strokes gained with that club this week, trailing only Hoda Bin. And 18 showing its generosity once again. Lovely finish for Hong Ji-won on a day that caused a fair amount of troubles for her with her highest score of the 3-round event that she played. She was definitely in contention and conversation for the win when she reached the course this morning. If we're being honest, Hye-won wasn't really, despite a remarkable 67 yesterday. Seemed like maybe 6 under would be too far back to start, but she has not put a foot wrong. As slim as the odds might seem, it is still an opportunity for birdie. Diving left, just breaks a little bit too early. There's got to be a switch. Just flip. Knowing you could pick up a stroke, you miss, and now you're thinking, okay, well, I can't drop. This is Jae-min Kyung with just a little lift, picking up plenty of speed as it goes downhill, and she will have that left to get down for par. I can hardly believe she didn't watch that all the way in. So Yeonjung over par for the day. That was her last chance to be even. 3 under for the tournament. That is tied for 27th position. This is how the scorecard looks. The ups and the downs, but even. Approach shot didn't go as planned. She finds the tree. She gets up and has this left for a par. Really a win on the line here. And she is absolutely locked in with that putter. Good damage limitation once again. But just a par 3 and a par 4. And she trails by 2. At the minimum, she needs a birdie. In all likelihood, she needs 2. Just have to quietly hope that the 2 players above her on the ladder aren't able to pick up any more. Certainly a bogey improves her chances. That is what Kim Min Sun 7 is trying to avoid here. Pressure pack putt for par. And the rookie, calm, cool, and collected, and keeps that 1-stroke advantage over her group mate and 1-stroke deficit to EA1, who was short on her tee shot at 17. With how close the pin is to the fringe, this is a delicate balance to walk. Actually hits the wrong part of the fringe, picked up some speed further out than she was hoping to be. Doesn't mean it's a putt she should miss, but it is not the tap-in that she would have been planning for. Saving one of the best shots of the round for one of the final shots of the round. Talk about an entrance to the 18th green. Playing in front of plenty of support, friends, family, and fans. Hoping to see her repeat, go 2 for 2. Just couldn't put the birdies together in the final round, which has not been an issue for EA1. Something she has not done, however, is bogey, and she'd like to keep that. For the neutral and for the drama, a bogey does wonders to condense the leads, and she does in fact push it. So shortchanged on the tee shot, a chip that catches the fringe and just shoots too far, and she will head to 18 and is no longer in sole possession of the lead. That is certainly quite the development. It's great news for Pak Young-gung. Perhaps even better for Kim Min Sun 7. And we'll remind you that yesterday Pak Young-gung went birdie 17 and 18 to finish the round. Kim Min Sun yesterday, consecutive pars. She had birdied 18 on Thursday. .306 local time here in Sogui-Poshi. And we could not be in a closer race than we are now. 2 holes, and who knows, maybe even a playoff Can any of our 3 challengers go out, take this tournament into their own hands? And there is a Worlds where there is a bogey from EA1 on 18, and a bogey and a par in combination for Kim In-sun 7, and 2 pars for Park Young-young, and the Kim In-biol would still be in it after her 65. Still so much to be decided. Park Young-young, how is this tee shot going to work for her today? Not at all where she wanted or needed to be. Wrong side of the green on the par 3 again. You don't falter for being a little bit conservative with that aggressive pin placement here. Kim In-sun 7 looks fairly content with that. Could have used a bit of backspin. Not a poor tee shot by any means, though. Chung Yun-ji had one final opportunity to gain. So her high score of the tournament is a 72. That means you've done something right, but that is 18 holes with 18 pars in the final round, tied for 9th. And all EA1 can do is focus on a bounce back. She has been absolutely lights out on 18 all week long, and 18 is playing and offering a lot of birdies today. She does bounce into the rough. Just adds a dose of complication to her approach shot. And EMG is able to roll this in. So she's not going to be able to do the double. But a 70 in the final round, 8 under, and a tie for 5th. She comes home to Jeju. She was born and raised and plays some of her best golf of the season. A win and a top 5 finish is remarkable. She's going to do absolute wonders as well for her ascension in the prize money and point list, where she started the week 5th in the former on 470 million won. And in the points, also 5th, up 70. Big haul she had last week. Two greens and 3 athletes. Who's it going to be? And the next question, will 18 holes, will 54 holes be enough, or will we need more? Tete-a-tetes, head-to-heads in the final rounds are always exciting. Not the most dramatic when somebody is well and truly ahead and just coasting to the finish line. But when you get more than two players battling to the bitter end, that is peak excitement, especially when bragging rights for a debut tournament are at stake and a big payday on top of it. Regardless, it's going to be a crazy story for Park Yeon-gyung. She either breaks the dry run and wins for the first time since she won and defended her title, the KLPGA Championship, or in all likelihood she finishes as the runner-up for a 10th time since that win. Well, the graphic showed you 7-iron. That's maybe something she considered, but from the fringe she's going to putt this. She has putted so well, you can't fault her for it. She feels really confident with this club. Just enough to get over the rise. And works that to about 4 to 5 feet. She'll need that for a par. We'll return to 17 in a moment. In the meantime, it's 106 meters from the rough. 9-iron the choice for our co-leader, EA1. As 15 yards off the front of this green is the pin today. That is the wrong club. My goodness, she's going to have to putt that down. You would think that 2 putts for a par shouldn't be an issue, but shouldn't is highlighted a few times, especially with the pressure and the intensity of the situation. She gets her speed and weight right. Comes away with a birdie. She takes the lead, and that might oust EA1. Down it comes for Kim Min-sun 7, but that is well left. Some snap break. Gave it her best effort. Was never a simple proposition. An absolute gotta have for Park Yeon-gyung. Her favorite club, her best club, needs to be true again to save par. Nicely done. guarantees from EA1 or Kim Min-sun 7. That par might be enough if she can birdie the 18th. Yet again, EA1 has birdied this hole every single time she's played it, but that seems almost an impossibility here. So just get it close has to be the mindset for EA1. Take your par, force the issue. It's heading right, starting to straighten out, but the weight is really, really good. A lot riding on that 5-footer. It's definitely not a tap in. Well, it is closer than what EA1 had to contend with. But you can tell there is anxiety coursing through her body right now. To the nth degree, micro adjustments. Any other hole, any other situation, she's stepping up maybe one practice swing and she's knocking it down, but the beauty of final holes of a big tournament. Everything is magnified. Able to calm the nerves just long enough. She will carry that 10 under score to the 18th. Park Young-kyung hot on her heels. And this is the tour of the final hole. Well, at least the final hole will likely play. We could play it twice. We'll just have to see how things shake out the next 15 minutes. 280 yards from the furthest tees to the back is the creek that meanders through. 230 meters from the tee is the end of the fairway bunker on the right side, the in-play point there. And 5 unique sand traps to the right, 1 big one to the left. And the pin placement in this final round, 15 yards off the front, 8 yards from the right. The scene has been set. We're seeing EA1 play it right now. All in towards the clubhouse and towards Hallasan and EC. So the gallery getting into position. Some, I think, might have been parked out here for most of the afternoon, and why not? On this 2-tier green, despite the pin being just 15 yards off of it, there is definitely a big downslope. Hardly level either. And for Park Young-kyung, it's as simple as control what you can control. Play your game, get your birdie, and see how the chips fall, and let them fall as they may. She's slightly off of the fairway as well. It is quite narrow. They've made that stretch of fairway Championship Sunday worthy. And 339 meters away, if EA1 misses her par putt, Kim Min-sun would be all but guaranteed at least a playoff should she just par. And at 19 years of age, one of the biggest holes, one of the biggest 15-minute spans of her career. Crushes that ball with driver, and she is going to stop in the fairway. So one shot down, and so far so good. Just trying to stay composed. Do you need to ask a higher power for some help? That higher power could just be the golf gods. They've shone brightly on first-time winners plenty this year. EA1 was one of them. And now this putt for par. She relinquishes the power with a miss. But she is not going to make bogey twice in a row. So the round, 34 out and in. 4 under with 5 birdies. And now, like the rest of us, all she can do is wait. And here come the patrons. Here comes our featured group. On the walk down to the fairway, the approach shots next. Maybe a playoff. Maybe a win.
아, 이제 저렇게 이제 들어가잖아 페어웨이에. 옆에서 쓰는 게 낫지. 저기 있어야 돼. 여기. 난 이 팻말이 마음에 들어. 알았어. 거기서.
So all to play for. Could boil down to 5 minutes. We could be heading back to the 18th tee. Easier said than done. Treat it like any other hole. It is anything but your average run-of-the-mill moment for Kim Min-sun. 7 EA1 went through that whole experience this year after coming so close as a rookie last year on so many occasions. It was amazing to see her start the calendar year with the win. And Bung Min-ji can't see her groupmate birdie, or her chances are done. Has to focus on herself though at the moment, and that is agony. Plays it short, the backspin, the downslope takes her off the green. So if she doesn't hole out, she's out of it. Well, absolutely not how Lee Soo-jin thought this day would go, wanted this day to go. All the way down for a tie for 26th as she is 5 over, but a birdie would be a decent consolation here. And look at this return towards the pin. That was a lovely shot, one of her best of the day, undoubtedly. And setup time. Pitching wedge 106. And a great spot in the fairway. Well, from there you think she's at least earned a playoff. But still, so much to be decided, and as is tradition, the group will be announced as they arrive on the 18th tee. Let's have a listen.
아, 그래?
진짜? 거의 집 앞에서.
재밌겠다. 나중에 가족끼리 다 같이 나가면.
잘 못 찾아. 이번에 갔다 오지 않았어? 이번 갔다.
토대 챔피언 자리를 놓고 뜨거운 승부를 펼치고 있는 챔피언조 선수들을 소개해드리겠습니다. KLPGA 투어 통산 3승을 기록하고 있죠. 이번에 4번째 우승에 도전하고 있는 박현경 선수입니다. 투어 생애 첫 승에 도전하는 큐캡타 파트너스 골프단 소속의 이수진 선수입니다. 네, 올 시즌 대단한 루키 선수들이 많은데요. 또 한 명의 슈퍼 루키가 탄생했습니다. 김민선 세븐 선수입니다.
Well, the execution is anything but simple, but the reality and the lay of the land is quite simple. Park Yeon-gyang has to make that putt or chip from off the green. Birdie would take her to 10 under. If she makes it, she needs Kim Min-sun 7 to miss her birdie, and we would be headed to a 3-way playoff. So the tournament on the line. She's in to either be headed back to the 18th tee or a third place finish. She started the day as the leader. I'm sure it was exciting. I'm sure it was overwhelming based on everything she has experienced since her last title. And she said one of the reasons that she's glad to be working with her dad as her caddy again is his ability, his experience with reading greens. They're going to need to put their brains together and come up with the perfect break point, and then it's all execution. Tournament on the line. Here's Park Yeon-gyang, and she is putting. All right, ball, you need to get to our left. That was a good crack, but I think she knew when she saw that backspin take her off the green that she was out of it, and she is. Must be really difficult to stay calm in that moment for both EA1 and Kim Min Sun 7. She began the tournament with a 67.5 under par. Yesterday a 69.3 under. A birdie, which would win it for her, would be another round of 69. Otherwise, a par and a 70 would also take her to 206. She birdied the par for 9th to hit the turnout with 34. And at 19 years of age, after missing the cut last week, this is a chance for birdie and the win. Kim Min Sun 7. On its way, but flares out. And those 3 or 4 feet are going to feel like 300. Because now it's a must par. This is how it looked from the opposite side of the hole. Just broke away. Sujin takes her moment, and she delivers a birdie. Well, obviously a disappointing and at times underwhelming day, but she finds the second birdie, out 37 in 39, 76 plus 4 in the final round. Park Young will go first. She is away, and it is also just the natural order of things, knowing that she cannot win this tournament. Par, and she finished tied for third with Kim Min Byul, a bogey. And it's tied for fourth with Im Jin-hee and Chun Ye-sung. And she is unable to capitalize. So a 73 in the final round after being the leader after 36 holes. That's going to sting for a long while. And unfortunately for Park Young, one of the true superstars of this KLPGA Tour, the win drought continues. And any other time, every other 4-foot putt that she has ever played in the, you can imagine, 16 or so years that she's been swinging a golf club, this would never even be a consideration. But with the weight of the moment and everything that rides on this putt, will feel absolutely enormous. Must par, and we head to a playoff. If she misses, EA1 is the champion. And she converts in a pressure-packed moment. And we are headed to a 19th hole to crown a winner of the Tucson Engineering and Construction Weave Championship. One tournament that was supposed to be 72 holes became 54. It seems only fitting that we're going to get one bonus hole, and EA1 finds her cart. Kim Min-sun 7 will be doing the same. Some bonus golf on this championship Sunday. Very little to do from here, but let the pictures tell the story. EA1 waits patiently. She's already signed that scorecard. Some paperwork to do for Kim Min-sun 7, and then she'll head back up to the T block. And we're not done yet. More to come. Well, here we go then. There's something so special about these playoffs. Two incredibly young stars of this tour, star in the making and a bona fide star at this point in her sophomore year on the senior tour. We, as the viewer, we know the lay of the land, and she's probably going to white knuckle that grip. Try and stay calm and composed, which is easier said than done. It's a remarkable story either way. A sophomore and the rookie. And you always wonder in these moments, they try and be as fast and expedite this process as much as they possibly can, but EA1's been stood around for 15, maybe going on 20 minutes now. Is that just long enough to have some muscles tense up? Let the weight of the moment, the pressure set in. Could be one hole, could be two. We've seen 4 and 5 hole playoffs. And that's what the delay was. We needed to find the clubs. Can't start without those. And of course, all the more exciting, all the more dramatic, considering that this is the first. We'll always remember the first. And 216 million won for the winner, 132 for the runner-up.
밑에서 돌려야 된다고 말씀 좀 해주세요.
The two challengers, 68 and 70 in the final rounds.
플레이 중간에 연습하기 때문에 이은희 선수가 먼저 출발하고 그 다음에 김민선 선수가 갑니다. 티샷 이후에 카트 오면 세컨까지 하고 이동하겠습니다. 준비되시면 바로 출발할게요. 선수 도착 완료했고요. 이예원 선수부터 준비되는 대로 출발하겠습니다.
나무?
기다리십니다.
Head to head, mano a mano to decide a champion. EA1 will tee off first. She gives it the nod of approval. That's always a good sign. That's why she finds the fairway. 3 times last year she finished as the runner-up in that pursuit for the first win. Tucson Match Play, the OK Financial Group Seri Pack Invitational, and the Hana Financial Group Championship. She's no stranger to big moments. Of course, the Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open was her first win, and she is the 42nd ranked golfer in the world.
Great shot.
Kim Min-sun also in the fairway and out driving EA1. Hard to say who you give the advantage to. These next shots, of course, the most important, and down they come, back down the cart path. Commendable in its own right. Able to keep her focus long enough to have a good tee shot where that has been the area, if there is an area, to point out in her tournament thus far that has caused her some relative problems. Clearly not enough, because she is going to at least be second here. And even for a player as talented and confident as EA1 is, I'm not sure that by the end of the first round she would have envisioned herself in this spot. Only 1 under 71. Really did the business yesterday. Carried that forward into today. 1 under was tied for 38th. It was 5 off of Lee So-young and Chun Ye-sung, who had been our leaders. Can't call her a teenager anymore. She turned 20 back in February. That's still the beginning of what should be a long and illustrious career. She's onto the green, a little bit left. It's going to go downhill, and what she will hope then rise before dropping. The pin mostly disguised by the shrub that separates the 2 bits of fairway. And being a little bit longer gives her the chance to go with the wedge, get a bit more loft, and go hunting. Oh yeah. So closer to the pin, she's going to have to do a little bit of landscaping, as that divot will be right in her line. Going to take a brief detour. She wants to see where the ball is, then she'll head back to the bridge. Well, here are the approaches. 120 for EA1. A little bit of a draw, some more movement to the left than she would have wanted. And the response from Kim Min-sun 7.
연장전 펼치고 있는 이혜원 선수와 김민선 선수 끝까지 힘낼 수 있도록 여러분 뜨거운 박수 부탁드립니다.
Of course, Jeju has been the place to be for golf fans the past couple of weeks. The kickoff to the month of August. And we are going well north next week. Another 4-rounder, the High One Resort Ladies Open from, you guessed it, the High One Resort. And Shin Sun enters as the defending champion. Then the end of the month to Jade Palace in the Hanwha Classic with a purse of 1.7 billion won. And of course, just the bragging rights and prestige of one of the biggest tournaments of the year. Less than a month away from the KB Financial Star Championship from Blackstone Ichun. We were at Blackstone Jeju last week, of course. But right now, the eyes of the tour, its staff, its competitors, its supporters are firmly affixed to Teddy Valley. EA1 putting for her birdie. Down it comes, and right at the flag. So she's guaranteed at least one more. That is a mesmerizing putt. Huge. She knew it. And without even speaking it, that is a challenge. And a what do you got, rookie? The pressure's the same. The putt significantly more difficult than what she had played about 15 minutes ago. Has to have this birdie to force a second playoff hole, and she's missed. EA1 has won the Tucson Engineering and Construction Weave Championship, and she will always be the inaugural winner of this event with an unbelievable weekend. 67-68, and then needing just one playoff hole to get the job done. And has won the second event of her career, the second event of the season, at just 20 years of age. I will say I do miss the water guns from last week, but that is still a unique and special moment. And the flower shower. So we will get you through to the highlights of the round and see how she got here. We'll hear from EA1 as well. And then, of course, the awards presentation on this very green. That's how EA1 become a champion for a second time on the LPGA Tour of Korea. We'll also see Kim Min-sol, national team player, presented as the low amateur. She's not done. Anyone's going to find a water bottle here. Blue carpet's already being rolled out. What an unbelievable putt to win it. Furthest out after the drive. It was a good drive, but she was outdrove. And the approach was anything but a certainty. And yes, EA1, get those two fingers in the air. You are a two-time champion now. The championship clincher again. The reaction, the roar, and the acknowledgement to the unbelievable support. So the dust is settled, and as promised, drama to the bitter end. You consider the fact that she was already so high on the prize money rankings this season. Had been at 509, nearly 510 million won, trailing only Park Ji-young. She's going to go up to, and this is where you test the commentator's math. It's 715 million now. and we are just in the nascent stages of the second half of the season. Absolutely brilliant. Just as Teddy Valley ended up being as a host despite the delay to get us started. Certainly made up for it in the excitement and the drama to the very end. A reminder, we'll hear from EA1 shortly. We'll go through the highlights, show you the leaderboard, and of course the awards presentation. For the very first time here, DOOSAN ENC Weave Championship. The hard work is done. It's time to celebrate.
안녕하세요. 감사합니다. 네, 우선 제가 개막전에서 천우승을 했는데 상반기 때 1승을 더 추가하는 게 제 목표였는데 하지 못해서 조금 아쉬웠어요. 그래서 2주 동안 다시 재정비 잘 해서 또 좋은 기억이 있던 제주도에서 시합을 하니까 우승을 하고 싶었는데 이렇게 제가 초대 챔피언으로 할 수 있게 돼서 정말 정말 좋은 것 같아요. 네. 네. 딱히 그건 아닌데 제가 제주도를 원래 좋아했는데 이렇게 제 첫 우승과 이렇게 다승까지 다 제주도에서 할 수 있게 돼서 더 뜻깊은 것 같아요. 네. 네. 우선 그때 되게 거리가 좀 길었고 라이가 어려웠어요. 그래서 그냥 붙여서 투퍼터만 해도 잘했다라고 생각을 했는데 조금 셌어요. 조금 셌는데 그게 핀대를 맞고 들어가면서 좀 운이 따르지 않았나 싶었어요. 네. 잔디가 국내에는 이런 잔디가 많지 않잖아요. 근데 제가 국가대표 때 해외 시합을 많이 나가면서 이런 잔디에서 조금 연습하는 방법 이런 걸 좀 많이 저희 코치님한테 배웠던 게 좀 이번 시합 때 도움이 많이 됐던 것 같아요. 우선 절대 짧으면 안 되겠다 이 생각이 너무 강해서 위로는 전혀 올라갈 줄 몰랐는데 조금 러프다 보니까 아무래도 좀 캐리 거리가 조금 많이 나오면서 위로 올라갔던 것 같아요. 네. 우선 제가 먼저 퍼팅을 했는데 절대 짧으면 안 되겠다라는 생각이 너무 컸어요. 왜냐면은 버디를 못하면은 질 수도 있으니까. 그래서 조금 과감하게 쳤는데 그게 좀 라이를 잘 타면서 들어갔던 것 같아요. 네. 지난 연장 때 졌을 때 그래도 저는 잘했다고 생각을 해서 또 연장전을 나가게 되면 조금 더 자신감 있게 플레이를 할 수 있겠다라고 생각을 했었어요. 근데 이렇게 빨리 또 연장전에 갈 줄 몰랐어요. 네. 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 남은 시즌 메이저 대회에서 1승을 더 하고 싶고, 앞으로도 지금처럼 꾸준한 모습 보여드릴 테니까 응원 많이 해주세요. 감사합니다. 네, 감사합니다. 네, 감사합니다.
Certainly less dramatic than her first win back in April, but still a very cool moment to see her celebrate, and she absolutely deserves to celebrate. We'll go through the final round highlights and show you how we got to where we are now. Park Hyun-kyung, as mentioned, had been the leader after 36 holes of play and started the tournament fairly well. Took her just 2 holes to get back into the birdie column. She would go to 10 under, but as we know now, a battle to stay there. Kim Min-sun 7, meanwhile, wasted no time getting on the right foot and maintaining that pressure. Her first birdie coming back at the par 5 fourth. Speaking of, EA1, as she came through, she was 7th on the ladder at this point, but just sneaks that inside the pin to move into a tie for 5th. And this is where things started to get a little bit hairy for Park Hyun-kyung. She scrubs it from off the green and couldn't recover to save a par going down. Miss on number 9. Back-to-back birdies. Chun Ye-sung at that point, keeping her very much in the conversation. 8 would be next. Nice little symmetry we got going on here. EA1, 7 under through 7. How about 8 under through 8? I'm trying to bounce back Park Hyun-kyung, and doing so wonderfully. One of her best shots of the entire day. Perfect amount of backspin as well. Keep her nice, tight, and close to the pin. She'd finish off from there and go back to a share of the lead with her groupmate. Kim Min-sun, wonderful approach on number 9. A right to left putt to finish with a 2 under, 34 at the turn. Kim Min-byul, however, wanted to say, I'm still in this, you know. Going in with a 32 after going out with a 33. A remarkable round, to put it mildly. And then she just got to enjoy the action from the clubhouse from that point on. EA1 a birdie at 11. Park Hyun-kyung trying to respond and responding. Back to 10 under where she had been much earlier in the round. Had to battle back, and then this at 12. Look how far removed from the cup EA1 had been. About 35 degrees she was oriented away as she goes back-to-back birdies on the par 4s. And this on number 15. 74 meters out, needing to climb up the hill. Chun Ye-sung, and that is delightful. Go on to find her birdie there. On number 12. Kim Min-sun 7 would miss. She didn't miss much today, but there had been a few occasions. That was one of them. Then on 13, should have just been a run-of-the-mill second shot on the par 5, 302, but into the trees. And of course what that does is force a layup and take away any opportunity for error, but way too long of an ask for a par. She would drop to 8 under, tied for 4th, 2 off the pace, and she'd have to fight, scratch, and claw to get back. Meanwhile, it was pretty close to just smooth sailing for Kim Min-sun 7. Her birdie at number 14. Move her back into a share of the lead. And then on 15, it was getting close to must-make territory for Park Hyun-kyung to get back in contention. She does so with a really well-worked birdie at 15 to the par for 16th. EA1, another lengthy putt for birdie. Little did she know that would set her up really well for the playoff that would be in her near future. But there was a moment where things weren't assured of a win, of a playoff, because as she tries to play that chip after missing the par 3, she hits the fringe and accelerates away, and then this was a really, really frustrating miss. It would drop her back out, and it would be good news for everyone else. She'd recover, though, with a par on 18, and then all she could do was watch Kim Min-sun 7, a chance to win the tournament, but she pushes the putt to the right, and ironically, almost exactly where EA1 made her putt to win, as we see, just a little bit further out, left to right and back again, off the pin and down. The challenge was issued to the 19-year-old rookie. Make this putt, and we'll go again. Miss it, and I win. That is precisely what happened. Just a little bit right to left, and a lesson that, well, there is nothing to be ashamed of. She just could not survive the playoff with EA1, who became the first winner in this tournament's history and a two-time winner on the season and in her career. And on this 18th green, where she was able to get the win, the blue carpet has been rolled out. The awards ceremony begins now. Let's head to the 18th green. $30 million won from the social contribution zones. The targets on hole 9 and 8 from the DOOSAN and Weave sponsored athletes.
네, 감사합니다. 자, 그러면 바로 대망의 우승자를 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 새로운 역사를 써내려갈 2023년 두산건설 위브 챔피언십 초 투편 3라운드 중 206타 10 언더파, 오늘도 연장 승부 끝에 우승의 주인공이 됐죠. 이혜원 선수를 만나보겠습니다. 여러분 박수 보내주시죠. 두 번의 우승을 모두 제주도에서 기록하게 됐습니다. 먼저 주간사인 한국여자프로골프협회 김순미 수석부회장님께서 우승자의 상징인 우승 자켓을 입혀주시겠습니다. 두산건설 브랜드의 리브 블루가 연상되는 멋진 챔피언 자켓입니다. 첫 우승 때는 빨간 자켓이었는데 파란 자켓도 정말 잘 어울리죠. 네, 두 분 사진 촬영하겠습니다. 네, 여러분 박수 감사합니다. 자, 이어서 두산건설 이정환 대표님께서 트로피를 전달해 주시겠습니다. 자, 이 트로피가 좀 특별한데요. 두산건설 위브 챔피언십 우승자 트로피는 세계 최초로 선수가 완성하는 트로피입니다. 아직 미완인 만큼 두 분 잠시만 기다려주시면 감사하겠습니다. 우승자 트로피는 건설을 의미하는 벽돌을 하나하나 신중하게 쌓아올리듯 선수로서 수많은 무력의 순간을 하나하나 쌓아올려 이제 드디어 우승이라는 결실을 맺는다는 그런 의미를 담고 있습니다. 여기에 챔피언이 직접 선택한 에센셜이 부여된 마지막 벽돌을 선수가 직접 올리게 되는데요. 이러면서 대미를 장식하도록 기획했습니다. 자, 이혜원 선수가 선택한 에센셜은 솔브인데요. 자, 원래 의미가 솔브가 생활 속의 문제가 해결되는 공간이라는 뜻인데 이번 대회에서는 일상에서 벗어나 힐링되는 대회라는 의미를 담고 있습니다. 자, 이혜원 선수가 직접 큐브를 올려서 완성하도록 하겠습니다. 여러분 박수 보내주시죠. 네, 세상에 하나밖에 없는 소중한 트로피가 완성이 됐습니다. 네, 특별한 트로피를 들고 두 분 사진 촬영하겠습니다. 솔브 그 의미대로 정말 힐링이 되는 그런 대회가 되지 않았나 싶습니다. 계속해서 두산건설 이정환 대표님께서 우승 상금 2억 1,600만 원을 전달해 주시겠습니다. 네, 대단하죠. 이번 두산건설 리그 챔피언십은 신설 대회를 기록에 총 상금 12억 원을 내걸며 투어 메이저급 대회로서 그 역사를 시작하게 됐습니다. 여러분 다시 한번 박수 보내주시기 바랍니다. 이어서 테디밸리 골프앤리조트 조창호 대표님께서 두산건설 위브 챔피언십 초대 챔피언에게 꽃다발과 테디베어 구민형을 전달해 주시겠습니다. 감이 좋은데요. 테디밸리 골프앤리조트는 현재 제주도 박물관 1세대인 테디베어 뮤지엄을 운영하는 회사로 대한민국 10대 골프장으로 선정될 만큼 제주도를 대표하는 명문 골프장입니다. 귀여운 이혜원 선수에게 또 어울린 아주 특별한 부상이 아닌가 싶습니다. 네, 축하합니다. 자, 이제 모든 내빈분들과 우승자 함께 기념사진 촬영하도록 하겠습니다. 중앙으로 모여주시기 바랍니다.
광고만 훔친 것 같아요. 넘어갔습니다.
네, 네 분 함께 환하게 한번 웃어주시죠. 네, 감사합니다. 자, 이번에는 참가했던 선수들과 내빈분들.
Well, it's only fitting that Teddy Valley gives you a teddy bear when you win an event here. It's been quite the week, I think it's safe to say, from the fact everyone needing to be a little bit more nimble and patient, delayed a day, but in the end, an absolutely wonderful first playing of this Tucson Construction Weave Championship. The unfortunate drought continues for Park Young-young. You know, that must have been really difficult for her to watch, but also nice to see her and the sportsmanship sticking around to help celebrate EA1, who would go on to be and will always be the first champion of this tournament, taking home that unique and rather lovely trophy, as well as the brand new blue sports coat and a check for $216 million won. As she survives the 120 players that began this tournament, Kim Min-sun 7, of course it's going to sting. But these are the building blocks, the little moments that you need to endure, all a part of the journey as a pro. You can come so close. In fact, through the designated holes, 54, 72, whatever it may be, you could be tied for the best. But in order to outlast and really earn your stripes as a champion, you need these learning moments in EA1 today. I mean, what more can you say about the weekend she put together? 9 under after being only 1 under at the end of day number 1, capitalizing on it and celebrating. She knew that she was going to outlast and win, and it was very well earned. Next week, 4 rounds, scheduled in the event, and we hope that that ends up being true. Cheongsan is where we will head for the High One Resort Open, and we cannot wait to welcome you back to the LPGA Tour of Korea. As we say, thank you so much for joining us this week on behalf of our SBS Golf and Spock crews. I've been Adam Jenkins. Appreciate you joining us. Congratulations to EA1, and we will see you on Thursday. So long, everybody.